Dr. Nancy Macharia, Professor Charles Kamondo, Rosemary Saina, Mr. Festus Timori, Samuel John Martin Opio, Dr. Mary Gaturu, Dr. Fred Potter, Dr. Mercy Karogo, and Mr. Peter Rutere. On behalf of the NEC Council, I welcome you for the release of the 2020 KCSE examination results. I also recognize the presence of all of you and extend our gratitude to you for blessing the occasion. This marks the end of the 32nd cycle of the KCSE examination since its inception in 1989. Indeed, for us as a council, this is a landmark in service. Having been tasked with the heading assessment and examination of the Kenyan child in the midst of unprecedented global pandemic that has affected many sectors and operations, including education. As you are aware, the effects of the pandemic affected nearly all education assessment boards worldwide, without exception. In some cases, examination processes were disrupted midstream, and some are yet to resume full operations today. We therefore consider it a great milestone for the Kenya National Examinations Council to have successfully completed the 2020 national examinations. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate the pivotal role of Professor George Magoha, the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Education, in this process, for remaining steadfast in his commitment to the completion of the examination cycle. Through his stewardship, the Kenya National Examination Council received the required support from all the relevant arms of the government, thus providing an enabling environment for the conduct of the 2020 KCPE and the KCSE examinations. I wish to assure you all that the Council put in place all measures possible to ensure that the KCSE examination results and certification of the 2020 candidates maintained the global repute that the Kenyan education has gained over the recent years. The Council therefore worked tirelessly to ensure professionalism and integrity throughout the process. In this process, the NEC staff worked diligently around the clock to ensure the prompt availability of all examination requirements. As was the case with many examination boards, field administration of the examination in COVID-19 times was not without unprecedented unique challenges, but the Council navigated successfully. Ladies and gentlemen, this would have not been possible without the support of all of you as responsible stakeholders and process owners. These include the larger Ministry of Education, starting with the Cabinet Secretary, the Ministry of Interior and the Coordination of National Government, the Ministry of ICT, semi-autonomous government agencies, associations, unions, and other institutions and individuals who supported NEC throughout the examination cycle. special recognition goes to the 2020 KCSE examination candidates, their parents, and patriotic members of the public who supported the process by refusing to tolerate examination malpractice by reporting all cases of attempted vice. We as a council wish to urge all law-abiding citizens to fight against all attempts to cheat in examinations because this not only affects the moral of our future generations, but also growth and development of the country. As I conclude my remarks, I wish to mention that NEC is still on course in rolling out the competency-based assessment in support of the competency-based curriculum at basic education and envisages to roll out the same at tertiary levels at the appropriate time. With those remarks, I take this opportunity to wish all the 2020 KCSE examination candidates success in their next phase of life and urge them not to focus more on the grades attained in the examination, but instead focus on the selection of the appropriate pathways that steer them towards their future career growth and development. Thank you. At this point, I would like to hand over to the PS, Dr. Julius Joan, to continue with the program. Dr. Joan, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much, our Cabinet Secretary. Thank you, Chair NEC. All protocols observed because of time, ladies and gentlemen. Mine is going to be very brief. The first one is basically to introduce the senior colleagues who are here, starting with the Chief Administrative Secretaries. We have three of them, Dr. Sarah Ruto, just you can wave. We have Mr. Noor and Madam Mumina. Then we have my colleagues, the PSS. We have Ambassador Nabukwesi, Mr. Cheriot, and Dr. Mokima. Thank you. Allow me also to acknowledge the presence of our colleagues from the Private Schools Association. I saw Mr. Ndora around. Please wave. Oh, thank you. We have colleagues from international schools. I think I saw you together. We have CEOs around here. Some of them have already been mentioned as board members. But allow me to mention Madam Dr. Wahome. Well, Dr. Wahome is the CEO COOPS, that is the Kenya Universities and Colleges Central Placement Services. Very critical because the results that are being announced here, the next step for the learners is for them to be selected to the various institutions in the country. That is important because once you get your selection through COOPS, then you can be sure of getting government capitation as well as being able to apply to the Higher Education Loans Board funds. We have the Chair of Parents Association, Mr. Mayu. I saw you around. Thank you. We have the principals of some of our schools. I think they are sitting behind there. Please just wave to the team. Thank you very much. We have many directors from the ministry, directors from TSE, directors from NEC. Please, you can wave. We have colleagues from COOPET and NAT. Because of time, I saw Honorable Mboko Milemba and Honorable Sosion. Ladies and gentlemen, at this stage, allow me very briefly to invite the Chair of the Education Committee in Parliament to just say a word, and then we move on because of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. CS Magoha, your entire team in the education fraternity, and all members present. Good afternoon. Let me start by thanking God for life and health. There are so many things happening in this world, but by the grace of God, we are alive and healthy. First, I want to congratulate the teachers and the parents and all the stakeholders for their resilience and hard work during a very difficult time. Despite all this, they have been able to excel. The release of the release of today's results mark another milestone in the education sector, which is continuously improving to accommodate all learners and provide fair opportunities for onward transition to institutes of higher learning. We must commend the ministry under the leadership of CS Magoha for real-time release of results. This ensures parents plan on time and end a lot of anxiety for our children. Well done, Bwana CS and the entire team. I want to take this opportunity to thank also His Excellency, the President, and the National Assembly Committee on Education and Research, and the House as a whole, for the recent appointment and approval of one Professor Fatuma Chege, PS, Curriculum Reforms and Implementation. This is a very key department because Kenya now is embracing the new education system, CBC. This system is long overdue because it will bring the best in our children by developing their skills and knowledge, and application of the same will ensure our children become better communicators, critical thinkers, among many other things. So Kenyans should now be fully ready to embrace the new education system. TSC, which is also represented here by Madam Nancy, is a very key player. We are going to ensure that they get the necessary support so that they can be able to roll out and train the teachers about the new curriculum. The Education Committee will always support the ministry to develop the right policies, support them through the budget, but also oversight and ensure that every cent is utilized very well. My appeal to leaders, to parents, and all stakeholders is to ensure that our candidates get to the next phase of their education so that they can be able to move on very well in that area. I don't want to say a lot, but I must thank the ministry for what it has done, because now we are able to plan as parents and move ahead. Today, I'm accompanied by two very key members of my committee, Honorable Mboko Milemba and Honorable
so that schools remain safe. I saw a cartoon in the papers today that indicated learners learning under a tree and the rain falling on them. I want to assure the country that in primary schools this term, the grade 4 pupils are still away, which means in many schools we have some extra space where we can keep social distance while learning. The same applies to secondary schools where
Gentlemen. Let me start by saying that I'm extremely pleased to celebrate yet another success of the KCSE examination. The circumstances under which this examination was delivered, I wish to thank all teachers who are involved in administering and marking this important exam. As a commission, we honor and celebrate our wonderful teachers for a job well done, because you certainly earned them. And that's clap for our teachers. However, even as we throw accolades their way, I wish to empathize with the 7 teachers who were involved in a road accident near Webuye on their way home. We wish them quick recovery and we shall be praying for them. Impressed with the rate of COVID vaccine uptake among teachers. As of yesterday, that is Sunday, the 8th, we had 151,494 teachers vaccinated, constituting 48.9 female and 51% male. Teachers aged 58 years and above have from the data we have received from the ministry. The impressive number has been achieved despite the fact that most teachers have been on the move, either during the administration of the examinations or during the marking exercise. Having concluded the examination period, I beseech all teachers to take up the job. And as we announced when we were releasing the KCPE, His Excellency, the President, granted all teachers an opportunity to get the vaccination regardless of age. Please, teachers, let's utilize this gracious opportunity to protect our lives. That so far we have lost 37 secondary school teachers, including 24 principals, 3 deputy principals, and 10 classroom not want to continue losing our teachers. They are very dear to us. So please, whenever you can, we still encourage you to take the job. As a commission, we continue to do lives. So far, we have provided full medical insurance cover for COVID-19 related ailments. Further, through our provider, Minet Kenya, we have now created a medical insurance app for our teachers to access telemedicine anytime, even from isolation centers or their homes. And what we are telling teachers is that because we know that we are avoiding hospitals sometimes when we can, please use this telemedicine so that even from isolation or even at school, if the ailment is not so great, then you get in touch with our medical provider. From there, the further advice from the doctors. The app also ensures access to COVID-19 health tips. You can track your hospital visits, order for medication, and manage your dependents. The list is up. Visit our offices can receive a job. So this centers available to teachers in various medical facilities. And again, we are doing everything to ensure that our teachers get the job as easily as possible and to access that vaccine and still go back to class in time. So as schools open for that term, we shall have less learners in school as grade 4, class 8 and Form 1 will be on their long vacation. I urge teachers to take this opportunity to prepare the 2021 candidates well and also take time to get vaccinated. Remember that this we are releasing the 2021 examination, and therefore teachers, colleague teachers, let us during the administration of this exam, a number of cases were reported to NEC alleging that some teachers contracted either as center managers, supervisors, or invigilators as soon as they were released from the containers. Such teachers, it was reported, would screenshot examination questions using their cell phones before disseminating them either to candidates directly or to people hired to answer the questions on behalf of the candidates. We are very disappointed by these reports, especially when they involve professional teachers. Teaching is a noble profession, and we should uphold the ethics of this profession. In one case, even went ahead to post them on her WhatsApp profile. Really unthinkable that one can even put these things on the profile. In yet another case, a senior teacher's cell phone containing screenshots of questions of a paper was recovered as the cell phone was being transported to a candidate who was sitting the examination at a hospital. We have also been notified by NEC of a teacher who posed as an examiner and accessed an examination center. He has since been found guilty by court and jailed. And while he is not an employee of the commission, he has mechanisms to subject him to a disciplinary process with an intention of removing him from the register of teachers. And as a commission, we shall wait for NEC to give us any other evidence that they may have in regard to unprofessional behavior on the part of our teachers, which is actually very regrettable. These three cases that I've just mentioned are just a tip of the iceberg, since we have received a number of unbelievable claims over the last couple of years, some involving experienced and respected teachers. We do not support any form of unethical conduct arising from any teacher. Worse, regarding examination malpractices. We shall therefore act decisively and conclusively on errant teachers while upholding the rules of natural justice and the principle of due process as stipulated in the Code of Regulations for Teachers. In doing so, however, we must be extremely cautious to avoid punishing framed-up teachers who could otherwise be sacrificial lambs of the true examination crooks. For instance, we must interrogate allegations of how a teacher can deliberately post smuggled up questions on her own app WhatsApp page, the consequences notwithstanding. Could there, for instance, be a cartel of examination thieves that access cell phones of surrendered? Once these phones are surrendered to a common point at the examination centers, then using the gadgets to photograph examination papers before attempting to route them to the intended targets. This inexplicable scenario has forced the TSE back to the accurately identifying the examination crooks beyond reasonable doubt. After initial consultation with the Commission, we have resolved to devise a waterproof system that will help us to accurately detect, we think this will be possible if investigations examination materials right from when they are released from the containers. To this end, we have resolved to launch schools. This will entail enlisting their fingerprints, which can then allow for forensic and intelligence-led investigations and other gadgets are used to commit examination malpractices. The use of biometric validation will assist in vindicating innocent teachers from being blamed for offenses they did not commit. We are at the tail end of finalizing our with the Office of the Data Commissioner on the rollout of the biometric capture of all teachers. In future, all teachers joining the TSE will undergo the biometric enrollment before they enter our payroll, doing what every other. When you go to the bank, you just use your fingerprint and everything, because we do not want our teachers to be accused of what they have not committed, but we will punish those ones who also are involved in the malpractices. In conclusion, I want to say that, as always, the TSC will reward those teachers that NEC will give names who have performed exemplary well and improved in their performance, and we shall recognize them. But let me conclude by my remarks now by thanking the multi-agency team that is behind the success that we are celebrating today. I can't forget our foot soldiers in the process. Of Interior. I wish to congratulate all the 2020 KCSE candidates and wish them well in their endeavors. God bless Kenya.
Thank you very much, Madam Nancy. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this is the hour we have been waiting for. It is therefore my humble privilege to invite the CS Minister of Education and release the 2020 KCSE exam results. Karibu sana waziri.
Chief Administrative Secretaries Dr. Sarah Ruto, Mumina Bonaya, and Hassan Nur Hassan, Margaret Makima, Alfred Cheriot, and Ambassador Simon Nabukwesi, Teachers Service Commission CEO Dr. Nancy Jerima, Dr. Florence Mutua, Chair of the Education Committee of Parliament, accompanied by Honorable Winston Sosion and Honorable Mboko Milemba. Dr. Onsati, Chair of NEC, Mercy Karogo, Acting CEO of NEC Council members, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am indeed excited this afternoon to welcome you all to this event celebrating the results of 747,121 candidates who sat for the 2020 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education Examinations. Just 3 weeks since we gathered here to release the results of the primary school exam on the 15th of April. Ladies and gentlemen, after looking at the that have been posted by our 2020 candidates and taking into account the most trying environment in which they prepared for this examination, I am compelled to describe this show in one apt sentence. Their battle was fought with resilience and ended with grace. Indeed, these candidates navigated one challenge after another that has now left us, all of us, with mirthful faces. Ladies and gentlemen, of success and wonderful children who have defied the COVID-19 pandemic to shine in their examinations. Also have God to thank for giving us a wonderful and wise His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, who has invested a lot in the education sector and has given us all the support, both politically and professionally. Through the President's guidance over the past 1 year, calendar to ensure that candidates sat the national examinations on time was not only first class and cannot be taken for granted, because we had so many experts from all parts of Kenya who knew better. But His Excellency the President was bold enough to open the schools, and today we are celebrating these results. I cannot, Fred Okengo Matiang'i, in charge of the Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government, and Joe Mucheru, in charge of ICT, Youth Innovation and Youth Affairs. The three of us, because they know how we have been working, especially over the last 3 days, where we did not have comforts of resting at night. Thanks to the well-coordinated education sector, the 20 TVET institutions, TTC institutions, and universities at exactly the same time they have done. The effects of COVID-19 notwithstanding, of learning on time. I assure all the KCSE candidates who will receive their results, one full of hope and shorn of despair. All candidates have a place in our education story. I want to repeat that all candidates have a place in our education story. Our government, every child in our country has a place to pursue a career, and everyone deserves a chance, and that chance shall be given. We believe that there is no insignificant child, and that no insignificant child has been born in our country, and we must not leave any learner behind. The government has a duty to nurture each of these learners to pursue their dreams, regardless of how low they start to the very top of the academic ladder. Ladies and gentlemen, We believe in this dream, which indeed is what our competency-based curriculum is all about. I am therefore proud to announce that we have created opportunities for academic progression for all the 747,171 who sat the 2020 KCSE examinations. Already the Kenya Universities and the Colleges Placement Service Groups, whose CEO, Dr. Agnes Wahome, is here today. I think you should stand so that they see you properly. Ukahaha. Let them see you. This is the new boss for the universities, replacing that is Dr. Wahome, brand new, has identified that our universities and colleges and TVET institutions have places for all candidates. All these institutions have disclosed their capacities of enrollment ahead of selection exercise of 2020 KCSE examination candidates, which I have instructed that should start immediately. That instruction is on behalf of none other than His Excellency the President. The placement service is engaging with higher education, with the higher education regulatory bodies, Commission for University Education, the Technical and Vocational Education and Training Authority, TVETA, to ensure that all institutions are prepared to enroll these candidates. This is in line with the Ministry of Education's goal of providing fair and balanced access to quality and relevant higher education and training, and His Excellency the President's policy of 100% transition. I have directed the COOPs to ensure proper public mobilization and communication to campaigns are put in place to ensure that all interested candidates apply to colleges and TVET institutions of their choice. As you are aware, the government of the Republic of Kenya will pay for these children, and they will also be available to get help loans. I therefore wish to declare that all candidates who have sat these 2020 examinations have the ability to progress to other levels under the government's plan of zero wastage, 100%. This explains why the government of His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta has spent enormous resources to expand the TVET sector. Let me also re-emphasize that the government has been paying for our children in private universities the same amount that they pay to public universities. And because we want every child to have access, this is going to continue. The number of TTIs in each constituency has grown from 52 in 2013 to 233 in 2021. Out of the 233 TTIs, 52 are fully operational, 140 have been built, equipped, staffed, and operationalized, 4 of them catering specifically for children with disabilities, and 41 are undergoing construction, and I hope that by the grace and mercy of God, Mwakima, you are here, this is one of the things that you must finish so that they are operationalized this year. In bid to make up for the time that was lost during the prolonged closure last year, we deliberately created a tight academic calendar that enables us to accelerate completion that have opened for 2020 third term today are expected to close on the 10th of July. And then, and only then, shall we start a new year. That new year, ladies and gentlemen, entails the rollout of CBC Grade 5. And for the avoidance of doubt, we shall all roll out Grade 5 together, whether you're in private school or public school. Like I said the other time, there's only one government. Upshot of this accelerated calendar will be that we'll have 5 examinations this year. The 2021 KCPE and KCSE will be held in March 2022. So the members of the media should stop labeling the examination we are releasing as 2021. That examination is being set now. The one that is being released is 2020. So even as you go ahead and discuss this, it is for the year which has not ended, which is 2020, which will end in July. In December 2022, we will administer another examination. Hopefully, I will not be there, but we shall have planned for everything. That whoever is going to take over from us should have a seamless effort. We had tried to avoid this, but I think since it is one country, and we must remember that the world is a stage, and when you are given a job, you don't get attached to it. You just do what you have to do and ensure that when you leave, whoever takes over can proceed on from there. That is the year that in December next year, that will be the year that we shall do the grade 6, the first grade 6 summative examination. As you are aware, His Excellency the President has sworn in a permanent secretary specifically to midwife the competency-based curriculum changes, the CBC, which basically means that this will be done without any problem. We are therefore about to come face to face with the historic examination system next year, which means that we must start preparing for the 5 examinations. I therefore wish to urge all our stakeholders, and especially those in the unions, to very kindly work with us as they have done so in the past, and the multi-agency team on the examination to tighten their belts and to prepare to confront the 5 impending examinations. Yet, I know dressing up such challenges is the team's stock in trade, and therefore it shall be done. The government, through the Ministry of Education, has opened the door to applications for the government's 9,000 odd scholarships under the Elimu Scholarship Program. This program started in 2019 and was originally meant for 110 sub-counties. But again, through the wisdom of His Excellency the President, we expanded it to children in urban slums and informal settlements. And I have since then learned that the greatest number of poor children in this country reside in those areas. The application is ongoing. I would like to encourage everybody who feels it will be considered to apply. We are being assisted here by Dr. James Mwangi, who has a track-proven record of administering such scholarships. The value is 2.5 billion for another 9,000, and we are hoping that 30% of this will go to urban slum children and children in informal settlements. During the 2020 KCSE examinations, 747,161 candidates sat for the examination compared to 697,222 of the previous year. This represented an increase of 6.6%, equivalent to 49,939 candidates. Of the 7,167 candidates who sat for the 2020 examinations, 380,327 were male, while 366,834 were female, representing 50.90 and 49.10. That is gender parity as far as I am concerned. And we wish to thank the government of His Excellency President Kenyatta for achieving gender parity, because we have had continuously more and more girls coming to sit for examinations. As a matter of fact, in 15 counties, more females enrolled than males. And the 15 counties are Taita Taveta, Kwale, Nyandarua, Nyeri, Kirinyaga, Murang'a, Kiambu, Machakos, Kitui, Nandi, Meru, Elgeyo Marakwet, Kakamega, Vihiga, and Kisumu. The counties with a high gender disparity in favor of the male include Mandera, Wajir, Garissa, Turkana, and Homa Bay. When I looked at these figures very closely, except for Homa Bay, there was almost 1 to 2 disparity. And therefore, I'm going to instruct the field officers in these counties to find out what is happening to the girls there. Are they marrying them too early? and covering up under culture. And if that is so, we must bust it and make sure the girls go to school. Marriage can wait at least for another 4 years. I have also asked the Director of Quality Assurance, Dr. Stand so that they see, because people keep asking quality assurance. This is the Director of Quality Assurance. And she has capacity of sleeping inside a marking center for 48 hours. What nonsense are you looking for? Please sit down. Quality assurance and standards to investigate the cause of low female candidates. You know, some people want bodies who cannot do the work. I identified Dr. Gaturu from the field. Nobody introduced me to her. And I was not even a minister then. I was just an ordinary chair of NEC. Turkana County had the highest number of overage candidates, while Bungoma County had the highest number of underage candidates. The underage candidates are the ones who are 16 and below. But excuse me, please, they have performed very well, so don't touch them. Subject performance in 20, don't hold a child back because the child is underage. You will see that they deserve. I'm going to show you soon. In the 2020 KCSE examination, 19 subjects recorded significant improvement in performance compared to 16 subjects of 2019. There was no significant change in 2 subjects. There were 893 A-planes. There were 893 candidates who scored A-planes, which is 0.1%, as compared to 627, which compared to 0.09, 2019. This is one of the clearest indicators, ladies and gentlemen, that the candidates have performed at par, if not better, compared to 2019, despite the negative effects of COVID-19. Ladies and gentlemen, the number of candidates with minimum university entry qualification, which is grade C plus and above, rose to 143,140, representing 19.03%, compared to 125,747, representing 18% in 2019. The message here is this: all the remaining candidates are eligible to join TVET institutions, teacher training centers, medical training colleges, and other tertiary learning institutions at various levels, from artisan to degree level. There's a table which will show you the distribution, and I don't have to go through them because you will see them. Our candidates with special needs, there were 223 candidates with special needs have obtained C plus and above. And I think I should take time, because since they are special needs, let me just take time to this is an improvement as compared to the 127 of last year, which was 7.6%. The most improved candidates, and the message we want to give here, there's this myth which is totally misplaced. Like right now, I have over 5,000 requests. They all want to go to 3 schools, 3 male and 3 female. And I look at it and I just laugh. Yet, there are students who have scored below 200, and they are going to university from sub-county schools. And I think you will allow me to show you how the so-called children who are flogged have passed well enough to join universities, from universities or TVET, because now even a student with A can choose to go and do a TVET course where he is sure he'll get a job tomorrow. And I want to start with one who is from a sub-county school. The name is Teriot Bet Dennis, Kimargis Secondary School. The sub-county school is somewhere in the country. He has moved from 190 to a B minus, so he's assured comfortably of a university space. The next one is Maluti Tom Michi from ordinary 199, and he's got a B minus also from St. Teresa's Secondary School in Bikeke, the sub-county school. The fourth one is Kipis Soimit Charity from 150, actually 151 in primary school, to C plus from a sub-county school. The fourth one is Sadera Sempeyo Shalvin from Oldekesi Secondary School, 168 to a B minus. The other hero or heroine is Kamar Abdullahi Jamal, 163 from Habaswein Mixed Secondary School, Habaswein Mixed Day Secondary School, the sub-county school. The other sub-county school is Sololo Pamari Joseph, Oldekesi Secondary School, is a sub-county. Then there are one or two extra-county schools where we have Hassan Abdullahi Osman, Wayam Secondary School is an extra-county school. And the message here, ladies and gentlemen, is very clear. This, I don't know whether to call it madness or lack of knowledge, that you must go to the Panganis and Kenya high schools of this world. It is our duty as government to ensure that we nurture all the children, even those who will not have performed well. We must still give them, including the ones with E. We must give them an opportunity, because that E does not mean failure. Before CBC takes root, we must ensure that these children are given an opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the most improved schools based on the mean KCE grades, and here we have been open to identify the most improved schools. In the same spirit, ladies and gentlemen, of illustrating schools that can add value to students, I now name schools that admitted students with KCPE mean scores that did a commendable job in improving them. And they include extra-county, county and sub-county schools. The first one is Kayaga Girls School, somewhere in Meru, which is an extra-county school, which improved the KCPE index of 22.38 to 73.98 this year. St. Joseph's Girls Kitale improved from 21.22 to 71.57. Kisasi Secondary School, and incidentally, this is the school I want to take that child who was abandoned. I will personally go and look for him and admit him there and get him a scholarship. This Kisasi Secondary School has improved from 20.48 to 68.26. Oriwo Boys is an extra-county school with which I'm very familiar, and they have improved from 31.07 to 78.72. And I could go on and on, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just continue. Rio Kindo is a school that has a CP index of 18.87 up to 65. St. Joseph's Rapogi, which is near Dr. Juan's house, is an extra-county school from 31.112 to 77.78. And the first private, Light Academy, from 30.15 to 76.74. Sai Mixed Secondary School, which is a sub-county school. I'll just mention two sub-county schools and stop there. From 26.9 to 70. And Wiobiero Secondary School. I suspect that's also near Juan's house. 28 to 70. And finally, Chuka Boys, extra county, from 23 to 69. I could continue, but I think, ladies and gentlemen, you can see where the gap. We appreciate those schools. A lesson from this radical positive KCP improvement recorded by candidates with low academic achievement at KCSE level is that the government's 100% transition, which is now in its third year, has allowed all candidates to progress to secondary school, and you can see is becoming a major palpable game changer. You are no longer safe hoping that, oh, if you are in Kisasi, therefore you are not going to go to any university. That is where the river used to be before. So we are taking the river back to its course. And I think God should be praised for this. If we can sustain this policy over the years, then we stand a chance of saving many academic lives of poor children who otherwise would have been lost because of corruption and what have you. Now, I am sure this is what we are waiting for. The top candidate this year is from Muranga High School. The index is 87.334. We thank God he's a male. The name is Simiyu Robinson Wanjala. The second one is again from an entity called Agoro Sare High School, somewhere. The mean is 87.173. The name is Wasonga Alan Udoma. The third one now follows the normal tradition. Sharon Chepnieno Terez, female, 87.173, the Kenya High School. You can see even you are clapping more. The fourth one, I will read all the 15. Moriasi Rob Ongare, 87.139, Alliance High School. The fifth one, Mbogwa Esther Washosho, 87.113, Kenya High School. The sixth one, Kipkoech Mark Kogo, 87.106, Alliance High School. The seventh one, Kenneth Oranga, 87.049, Kapsabet Boys. The eighth one is Henry Madaga, 87.046, Maranda High School. The ninth one, Chepkorir Patience, 87.046, Kenya High School. Number 10, Musomba Edith Kitei, 87.013, Machakos Girls High School. That is the genuine one. The 11th one, Leslie Lois Wanjiku, the Kenya High School. Number 12, Tylron George, 86.970, Kapsabet Boys. Number 13, Kibrono Howard, Maranda High School. Number 14, Jelimo Debra, 86.947, Kenya High School. And number 15 and last, Buluma Daisy Nerima, 86.98, the Kenya High School. Ladies and gentlemen, the under-16s, these are the special ones who are 16 years and below. The first one is Musomba. So this Musomba, who is on the top 15, is actually under 16 from Machakos Girls. It should be clapped for properly. Makanda Nicole Pialson from Alliance High School is also here, 86.7. The third one is Mutabari Frank Mogambi, Kapsabet Boys. The fourth one is Kipto Gertrude Geruto, St. Joseph's Chepterit. Fifth one is Kiplangat Gerald, 85.7 from Alliance High School. The sixth one is Craig Onyancha Moturi, 85.6, Mangu High School. You see why I was telling you not to touch these children. The 7th one is Kimunye Dennis Washira, Alliance High School, 85.6. The 4th one, the 8th one is Bill Clinton Jefferson. Wow. And he is from Maranda, so he must be coming from around that area. The 9th one is Isaboke Janet Kemunto, Sumbi Girls, 84.9. The 10th one, Muturi Zeth Ongubo, 84.9. Kagumo High School. For those of you who don't know Kagumo, we are returning back to the river. That's where the brains are. The 11th one is Gateru Sophia Wamboi, Siakago Girls High School, 84.8. 12th, Kitimbo Kefa Kato, Oloitoktok Secondary School, Namungu asifiwe. Number 13, Rono Sharon Chepkogei, 84.6, Moi Girls Eldoret. 14, Garden Angela, 84.6, Alliance Girls. And 15 and last, Monda Daniel, Mangu High School. So age is just but a number. That's why you still see me very active. Overall special needs candidates, again, the top special needs person is Kikemoi Miriam Chepleting, 84.8, and A, Moi Girls High School Eldoret. Getugi Edgar Omoke, 83.566, the score of an A-plane, KCSE High School. Nabat Nyariki Ongubo, 81.4, Nyambaria High School, somewhere in, Nyambaria is in Nyamira. Victor Kiplangat, 80.3, A minus, M-Pesa Foundation. Give them a big clap. Warwinge Prudence Nyambura, 80.3, St. Anne Secondary School, Lioki. Onyango David Omoni, Maranda High School, 80.3. These are special needs children. You should be clapping for them. If you saw them, how they suffer to do exams, they are not like normal people. Well, they are able to differently, isn't it? Kialo Francis Mutune, 80.3, Makweni Boys. That's better. We know version Chianda High School, somewhere. A minus, 80.2. Mwangi Jabez Mwanja, Muranga High School, once again, 80.6, A minus. Nganga Wycliffe Ndiki, 80.162, Aquinas High School. Ominde Moses John, 80.1, A minus, Maranda High School. Zomo Gloria, 79.3, Moi Girls, Nairobi, A minus. 13, don't worry, these are the heroines. I must treat them all, and you have to wait. Mwangi Caroline Wanjugu, 78.18, Mahiga Girls. Number 14, Kebira Nyakoi Zakaria, 78.019, Friends Kamusinga. That is another school, water is coming back to its level. It's a good school that was submerged by corruption. Museti Stanley, this is the last one. SA High School for the Blind, A minus, 77. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll say something about irregularities. Because of the benefactor and wisdom of His Excellency the President, this year we have not cancelled results from any school, but we discussed with him this morning. As we go through forensic activities, we may actually recall results if we find that there was an organized crime. You had CEO, the CEO of Teacher Service Commission saying that the forensic activities are ongoing. But for now, to cut a long story short, we have cancelled results, very few indeed, from only a total of 287 individuals, where we had enough proof that they were very cheeky, having been told, and you can see out of the 287, 211 of them had unauthorized materials in the examination room, including those who wore white shirts and wrote. It's very funny. A child takes time to write in the shirt on both sides. So you see them opening and checking inside. You understand? Mobile phones were 45, and you have heard from the CEO, Teacher Service Commission, how cheeky they can be. And let me re-emphasize here, for the avoidance of doubt, that those examination papers are actually security papers. So when you open them, like the teacher who has been jailed, he doesn't know how we caught him. But we shall know once you clicked on the paper and send it to others. We shall know where that paper was opened, at what time, and in which office. And therefore, I hope he stays in jail for 4 years to scare the others. Impersonation, collusion, and double scripts. These candidates are very lucky because otherwise we would have perhaps closed about, cancelled about exams from about 20 other schools. But like I've said, we are given the benefit of doubt, and as we continue to check the results, for now they'll get their results. But if we find a very compelling one, we shall go and appeal to His Excellency so that we can actually cancel that result, because that is cheating. I want to complete by talking about female candidates who sat for the KCPE examination in hospitals. As I celebrate, I also want to castigate our parents in the most severe term possible. That our bodies, which we were given by God through His mercy and grace, are temples of the Holy Spirit. And when the hormones are starting to misbehave in your child, by that time you should have told your child how to control the body. In any case, total of a staggering 652 female candidates sat for KCSE examination in hospitals after delivery. They sat successfully and they have got their results. Counties that had the highest number of candidates who sat their examination in hospitals after delivery, the highest is Bungoma. And I want to challenge my PS, my distinguished PS, His Excellency Ambassador Nabukwesi. I am charging you to help me, since we are working together, that at 43, we would want to find out what is happening at that level. And since this is one government, that's why even though he's in the university sector, we are going to work together. I will also get involved there. We must get to the root cause, Dr. Gaturu. Why? Who is it that is hoodwinking our children? Can we persuade the parents to work with us so that you tell the child what to expect and not to spare the rod in the house, not in the school. The moment I say in the school, they will kill me. In the house, unaweza chuna masikio, hakuna mtu ataona. The next county is Meru with 38, Nakuru with 36, Kisii, where the chair of NEC currently comes from. And on that, you have other duties to do. And Nandi, Chariot, even though you are from Kericho, it's near there. We may need your action. We have noted the number of cases of candidates sitting examinations upon delivery went up in 2020, showing that the long school closure may have contributed. Let me now plead to my daughters and granddaughters who receive their results. for the primary school exam, that as they wait to join Form 1 in July, let them have something to do. Let parents help them. We are going to continue to work with my brother and friend, Fred Okengo Matiang'i, right down to the chiefs. And I was instructed to track down these girls and to make sure they are not loitering around and being cheated with sweets and what have you. The stories you hear about sanitary pads in primary schools is fake. The government of His Excellency the President this year spent 490 million shillings, and we gave packets for 9 months. We are sure that the packets reach, because even we worked together with the parliamentary group, they monitored. Now the challenge is now in the front line at home. Now I don't know, Dr. Mutua, whether you have an answer to that one, because if a girl comes home with a package for 9 months and there are 2 other females in the house, how do we protect our girls? So this is work in progress, and it is social. And instead of throwing the mud back at government, can we find a solution from the family front? The ministry will work with all relevant government departments to ensure that we focus on the worst hit countries, like I've said. More importantly, I want to urge parents and guardians to do more than ever before to talk to your child. Your child does not need money. Your child needs your time and wisdom. Does it mean that the girls who are there during my time were animals? Were they not human beings? They carried themselves with dignity because the parents did their work. As you go to look for money to feed the children, can you also spare a bit of time, please, to talk to your girls? They will listen to you. Now, in order to access your results, ladies and gentlemen, candidates should therefore collect their results from their respective examination centers. Individual candidates can also access by sending candidate's index number followed by initial KCSE through short messages SMS to 20076. This service will be available immediately after this event. It is now my humble duty and privilege to declare the KCSE examination results officially released. I wish all candidates success in their future endeavors. And if by the grace of God I am here for the next examination, it will be through grace and mercy of God. Because we must take life easy. Those who have died of